Hi, it's Wayne Hall back again with indie comics you can order at your local comic shop. A little bit of an update. Looks like I'm going to try to do these on a bi or semi-monthly, I guess it is, basis. I'm going to try to do it the first and third weekends of the month. We'll see if reality gets in the way of comics, but hopefully it won't. If it does, however, I'll try to do at least one a month moving forward. There are conventions coming and stuff like that, so we'll see how it goes. Anyway, this week I wanted to talk about one of my favorite indie comics. It comes out from Image, and it's called, and I'm not sure I'm pronouncing it right, Isola or something like that. It's Isola. And there are 10 issues that have come out from Image Comics. Let me read the description to you. Childhood friends Brenden, Fletcher, and Eisner Award-winning storyteller Karl Kerschl reunite on a comics page with a breathtaking fantasy adventure 2 decades in the making. The captain of the Royal Guard has fled the capital city with the Queen of Mar, who is suffering under the effects of an evil spell. Captain Rook's only hope of returning Queen Alwyn to her throne and saving the kingdom from impending war lies on an island half a world away, a place known in myth as Isola, land of the dead. Now, the interesting thing is that this book came out, there are 2 trade paperbacks, and each one has 5 issues. There were 10 issues that came out. This one here is the 10th issue, the most recent one. The second trade came out in July of last year. And it's been a little while since we've seen one, and there's a good reason for that. Brenden Fletcher, who I've interviewed and who does wonderful stuff I really enjoy, COVID-19 really knocked him flat for quite a while. And I was following on Twitter. March was the first time in a long time he got to actually say something on Twitter, and that's very unusual for him. And he basically talked about the fact that he just didn't do anything for months. All he could do was try to recover. And I sent a tweet to Karl Kerschl and asked him, any chance you're going to proceed with that? Because I haven't seen him on Twitter, Brenden, for ever since then, April or thereabouts. So he said, yeah, they're going to be working on it, and I'm hopeful they will, because it's one of those great comics that I think deserves a lot of attention. It's got a lot of female characters, interestingly, which I always enjoy because I understand male characters all too well. But the females, like on here, she's an interesting character to me. I have no idea what she's going to do. I don't want to spoil things, but there's the evil spell comes highly into play. It has to do with the queen, and that is what the queen looks like on there. And the captain of the guard, who basically takes the queen out of town, out of danger, has an interesting relationship with her. There's a couple of things that I'd love desperately to spoil, but I don't dare. The queen is sort of an snooty, might be a way to pronounce it or describe it. She's basically high on herself, and as such, she does bad things to people without giving it a second thought. One of those people happens to be the captain of the guard, who's protecting her, and there are things people kind of assume that she does not know that she's done these things. We find out. Let's just say we find out whether she does or not. Again, the female characters are so much fun for me because I don't understand, particularly in comics, how they're going to function in real life. I struggle with it too. But the real interesting thing about this is to see them go along. 10 issues in, they have not yet gotten to Isola yet. But interesting and fascinating things are happening to them, and you got to read the book. You can get the 2 of them. The second trade came out in July of last year, so it's almost a year. And I think you'll enjoy this book. It's very different than my expectations. I really loved it. I have to say that as far as fantasy goes, I'm not usually much for it. It's usually everything comes out of left field. Not this book. This book is really well done. The art is spectacular. Karl Kerschl does a wonderful job on the art. You can tell by the cover how artsy that is. That's really quite nice. And let's just say that inside you will be treated to wonderful pieces of art along the way. And I'm going to show a couple of pieces of them during this review. But it's a very fascinating thing. They're on the way to Isola, and as such, it's interesting to see how these two characters interact. Other people come along the way, so there are things going on that are magical, shall we say, on several levels. So I really have to say that if you are interested, particularly like I am, in female characters, something you haven't read before, this book is something you haven't read before. I can guarantee it. It's just terrific. I hope that we get more issues before too long. I'd love to see at least one more issue before the year closes out. We'll see. We'll be here when Brendan's ready. That's the best thing to say. Don't rush. Get better. Be ready. Tell the story that you'd like to tell. So let's get on to the grading. The writing is something really special in this. Like I said, I'm not usually much for fantasy, but this book really gets me. I'm just always surprised at the twists and turns that happen in this book. The characters are well developed. There's so much interesting going on that I just don't know what's going to happen. I've been actually breathlessly waiting for issue 11 for ever since issue 10 came out, which I have, obviously. And I have to say, I will hope you get to catch up and get ready for issue 11 whenever it comes. As I said, the art is something special. It's very, very dramatic. Lots of good color used in it. Not Karl isn't the colorist, but he does the artwork. And it's just, I can't pronounce the name of the colorist, or I'd say it. So it's just a great book. As far as art goes, well, the writing is an A, obviously. The art is also, I think, an A. It's just absolutely stunning how well this is done, how the things go. And it's just, I have to show you real quickly just one or two of this. There's a big cat attacking someone. There is all kinds of stuff that's more threatening going on there. It's just, you just won't believe it. It's so well done, the art, and there's a discussion going on between two of the female characters. Just so superb, just as excellent as it can be. And I just, I can't speak highly enough of it. I always talk about action sequences and facial expressions, and both of them are super duper, so it has to be an A for art as well. Lettering's pretty good. It's a little verbose at times, and I always worry when lettering covers up some of the art, and some of that happens in here. But it's not bad, I have to say. Overall, it's pretty good, so I would give it a B. Literary merit. Literary merit, I have to say, is this book is something that I hope people will read for decades to come. It's got a lot of interesting things to say about humanity, about women, about animals, and about a lot of different things. So I have to say, literary merit, A. Fun factor, as it is with a lot of the books that I read, it's kind of dark. There's a lot of dark humor that happens in it, and I won't spoil any of it here, but it's just a fascinating way that it goes. I keep using that word. I guess it just tells you how much I'm engaged in this book. I really loved it. Fun factor, C. It's not funny, but that's not why I choose books. Overall grade, I still have to give this an A. You put all the things together. It's a gripping tale. I don't know where in the world this is going to end up or how it's going to end up. There's a huge twist in the second volume. I won't so badly to talk about it, but I can't. It's got so many good things in it. You've just got to do it. You've got to get this book. It is just something really special. Again, it's Brenden, Fletcher, and Karl Kerschl. And get the 2 trades. They're both out. Your store can get them. And I highly recommend that you enjoy them. It's just a great book. Every once in a while, I like to go back and look at some of the classic ones, the ones that really should be in there, as well as the stuff that's coming out now. So for now, that's all I've got. And until next time, keep reading your comics.